This is the Actor Factor podcast with Brad Ashton and Diego Garcia. Today's guest is artist Carlos Moreno Jr.
Hey, hello. Happy day to you. Welcome to the Actor Factor. I'm Brad Ashton.
Diego Garcia, welcome.
Hey, I'm just going to start off right now. I know people are just listening. They can't see me back at home unless for some reason they're streaming to YouTube. That's out and they're watching that. But I'm having a bad hair day. I'm just going to say it.
You can never have a bad hair day.
Yeah, it's happening.
But it is great to say that when you're only thinking you're going to stream just the audio.
Yeah.
Because then it's just two men looking at each other's hair in a room.
Mm-hmm.
And
2 men and some hair.
And I think it looks fantastic.
You like that? Well, it's like people, I wonder if they wonder if we're doing a podcast in our pajamas. But just so you know, I get dressed when I go to work.
Yeah, I do too. But where I work, I don't need pants. So,
What?
I don't need to have pants on.
Oh. This was almost like, because we're kind of just we have the tables and desks and it's like waist down kind of a thing does not exist in right. So we don't even have to wear shoes and socks.
That's right.
Okay.
Right.
But if we didn't, maybe our feet would stink and you wouldn't want to be in the same room. But who knows? You can't smell. This is not scratches.
I've known you for a long time. I don't think I don't think we can offend each other.
No. Well, that's
Want to
good.
try?
No, that's another podcast, I suppose. Hey, man, what do you have going on? Anything exciting going on that you want to talk about?
Exciting.
Yeah.
Our lives are exciting.
It can suck too, but I mean,
I guess you're right. Oh, you know what?
Book any of those things.
No, you know what? Yeah, I'm glad you said that because you're right.
Mm-hmm.
It can suck sometimes, and we were talking to some people before, and it's like, you want to say yes to everything, but is it okay to say no here and there, right?
Yeah.
And I just recently said no.
To an audition or to a booking?
An audition, but it was a commercial audition.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'll be quite honest, it was a little heavier in the Spanish dialogue, and there's just a certain amount of dialogue in the script that I'll feel comfortable doing in Spanish. It sucks to say that.
No, but there's nothing wrong with that. It's better to say that and to not go than to say, yeah, I can do it, and then you go, and then you are really bad.
Yeah.
You're wasting everybody's time, dude.
I know
that's
when that
good
moment,
of you.
Yeah. I mean, it's smart of me. I don't want to go embarrass myself.
Sure.
But it also, I wish I had a better grasp of the Spanish language.
Well,
families from there. I just feel like I've been a westernized Hispanic. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And but we've talked about this before. I'm actually picking up Spanish again through Duolingo, and it's just trying to keep me current. But there's a certain thing, there's a certain persona when you're memorizing and then you're delivering lines. I'm not comfortable doing that in Spanish.
Yeah, with a bunch of heavy dialogue. Well, that's good to
know. And there's
know.
always so many other actors out there that are so perfect for that.
Absolutely. Did you know the casting director? Have you worked with him or her before?
I have.
Oh, okay.
I have. And in fact, I had to send like a personal message to kind of just say, hey.
Yeah.
Because, I hate declining, but they also say now, what's your reason for declining?
Yep.
And, I didn't want to say my Spanish is horrible because I do want Spanish auditions. I can do them.
Sure.
I can just look at a script and see what's necessary and understand my limits.
Yeah. Well, it's good that you have been in the business long enough to have a good working relationship with these individuals, and you can just send them that word and they still respect you and will call you in for future projects, So you guys, I think that's the point, is just be honest if you can and can't do something. Your special skills should not be, I can ride a dirt bike while popping a wheelie, juggling with, 2 hands. You're like, can you really? Because at some point they're going to call it the question. And if you can't produce, you're just wasting everybody's time. It's not fake it till you make it. You shouldn't fake it. You should be really good at it and just be honest about it. And I think that's cool that you didn't waste your time or anybody else's. Sometimes the role is just not right for you. You think everyone is, but.
No, I think you're right. It feels right and all that. But then it's like,
who are you benefiting here?
Because again, like we said before, you want to say yes to everything. But it's true. You have to understand.
Well, yeah, you want to work, Yeah, but.
What about you?
Oh man, that's a really good question. I'm feeling really lethargic. I'm feeling really like I haven't had anything pop in for a few days, and I'm wondering what's next. And it's like I've got this pilot that I'm going to be working on in a few months, but that's just I say it's down the road. I'm just waiting for other people to play their part and to to jump on to, what they're supposed to be doing in their duties, so I've delegated responsibility. I'm just waiting to hear back on certain aspects of that. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to find something creative, I guess. So that's a good question. I need to get something going. I need to,
I got this going, my friend.
Yeah, it is good. This is good.
But I mean, but I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. But this does lead into what everyone is talking about. You find something to keep your creative juices just flowing and current. And we're getting some really great perspectives on the business that we would have never gotten.
You're right. And so
it's like a class.
You're right. We're taking an acting class right now. I guess is exactly what it is. So I'm going to acting class. And you ready to jump in with our guest?
Let's do it.
Because I'm super stoked about it. No, I clearly need to get my soul fed. And I think this is the guy just to do it for us, man. Let's do it, D.
Let's do it.
You're listening to The Actor Factor.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We're super stoked to have our guest here with us today, Carlos Moreno Jr. Thank you for being here.
What's up, friend? Carlos, how are you? Thanks for being on the show.
Great to be here. Congratulations, guys. Super excited to be part of the journey that you guys are exploring, and I will be listening as well.
Yay, thank you, man. And we're excited to hear about your journey.
Yeah, in fact, let's just get right into it. What's going on in the world of Carlos Moreno Jr. right now? Did you finish a project? Are you auditioning for something coming up? Or what's going on?
So I just finished a project called Dominique, The Rise of the Phoenix. It's about a Ukrainian badass individual woman who ends up in Colombia. And I'm in the first 5 minutes of the freaking thing. I'm not going to tell you what happens, but you can guess. In Colombia, she's badass. She's a badass. So I just wrapped up that, and then I have a web series that I'm getting into. A friend just saw my work and just said, "Hey, there's a role for you." So I'm about to film that. I think the show's been around for 2 years. I don't even know the name of it. Mm-hmm. I've been really extremely busy in my world. I just came from a festival last weekend, I believe.
Where everyone was there for you, my friend.
Yeah.
Supporting your work.
A really nice give back. Diego, you and I, we go way back, man. Come on.
Well, yeah, the sci-fi days talk about being in a movie for like 2 minutes.
Cry of the Winged Serpent?
Oh, yeah, this was Cry of the Winged Serpent.
Yeah, which was shelved, by the way, by the Sci-Fi Channel. They shelved that movie. I think it was because I had a leading role in it.
Yep.
That was one of the first ones that I did. And they just shelved it. I actually talked to Jim Wynorski like 3 years later, and they're like, yeah, they bought it, but they shelved it. I don't know why they do that, but you and I, we go way, way back then. And so it was nice to, for LA, especially Los Angeles, because there's so many of us here.
Oh, man, yeah.
And, you throw a stone and there is an actor there waiting.
Yeah.
So it was nice that the festival, which was called the Film Fest LA, LA Live, gave me a whole platform, a whole hour to showcase one of my, I would say, 26 short films right now.
Wow.
Four of them. 2 of them actually were proof of concepts. And then the other 2, they've seen the festival, or one of them is like all over the place. I think we've done like 16 film festivals in the country. And we're going to, I think it's Brussels. No, I think it's Belgium or Brussels.
Amazing.
Next month in January. So, coming from the festival route, the reason why was they gave it to me because these guys are so cool, dude. They're like, we really want you to get your first feature as a director. You earn it. Da, da, da. So I brought some industry people from Hollywood, some heavy hitters, TV show execs, and they looked at it and we're in the talks. I'm making my rounds and see where these, potentially Diego be part of the 2 films that I want to do.
Yeah.
Hey, there you go.
You know me because I'm going to be tagging along.
Yeah.
Put me where you need me, my friend.
Yeah, and the two ones that I have right now, these projects I've had Diego for a long time. I'm talking about over 12 years.
Yeah.
And so it's taken me 12 years to
bring this to fruition. You know what?
Yeah.
I want to say thank you for saying that. That is absolutely brilliant, because we talked to each other about that, about never quit, never give up, and how there truly is no overnight success. That doesn't exist. And when you talk to people about their projects, whether it's theirs or how they got their start in their career, you know, they were doing this, trying to birth this baby 15, 20 years ago, and it's taken all this time just to see the light of day.
Yes, that is the crazy thing about it.
With a lot of rejection along the way.
You just have to be persistent. See,
persistent.
Like, you know, we are actors. I just wanted to act, guys. I didn't want to learn how to produce and direct and write and any of this stuff. But like back in the year 2001, my acting teacher, who no longer is with us, he was a mentor of mine. He told me straight up in front of acting class, it's like, hey, you got to be better than all these MFers here in this room, because of who you are. You're not going to get the leading roles. You have to do it yourself. So I've been applying this since 2001, and that's why I have all these years working on the projects and a lot of them have been rewritten, workshopped. I don't think you've ever come to one of the readings of the two projects, but they've been workshopped and reread and where it is really, it's ready to go. But it's taken me all those years of shelving it, bringing it out, and then working at the same time. But we as artists, it's not old Hollywood anymore, where you would just, you know, go to the studios and you had a contract for whatever many years. The old Hollywood, you know, all that is gone. Even in the 80s and 90s, early 2000s, when I got here in 1996, that era is gone. It's like now you even have to be your own PR person. So the demand that Hollywood puts on actors is super, super. It's so it's so much on our shoulders that you got to have a clean head. You can't be partying anymore like we used to back in the days. You have to be more target because the noise that is out there from so many actors and so many platforms. I mean, just turn on the damn freaking TV or wherever, it's a computer, and there's platform for this, and you blah, 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 blah. It's the wild west of film. And so everyone can do it, but the noise is so much that you have to peek out of that noise. And the only way you can do it, I feel, is if you've had enough studying, if you really applied all of your work and your dedication to it, and not just be, oh, I'm an Instagram sensation, check me out. You might have a million followers. They might even give you an opportunity, but can you stay in that opportunity? Are you self enough, contained, and that you cannot meander to the sides? Because guess what? You meander a little bit to the sides, you are replaceable in an instant.
100%. Yeah, and your attitude's got to be top notch too. We talked on previous podcasts with other individuals about exactly that. Gone are the days where you could even have a bit of diva-ness or attitude. Like, you got to be super nice, dude. Nobody wants to work with assholes, right? I mean,
no one. And in TV, because you know TV goes super fast. Commercials are like. You know, there's so many. Right? Commercials are a whole different animal, but your TV is, you're late. As a matter of fact, Diego and I, when we worked in that movie, The Cry of the Winged Serpent, there was this guy there from, I think he was Russian. No, he wasn't Russian. He was some European guy, like model-looking guy, you know, from 1999 or whatever. And he brought these two chicks with him to set, right? These broads, good-looking models, I guess, too, as well. And there was a guy there who was on the set. We were in a railroad, you know, train track, around East LA area. And the guy, the Latino guy, not the Latino, was Latino, but the Italian guy, he kept forgetting his lines. He was so nervous that he kept forgetting his lines. So when we turned the camera around to the model-looking guy, he left the set.
What?
He left the set. Like, Jim Wynorski was like, where's whatever his name was, blah, blah, blah. He's like, I don't know. Find him. And we're ready to go back after lunch. Dude, the guy left. And Jim Wynorski was, what? what? Oh my God, you'll never work in this town again.
Oh my God.
Screaming. And I'm watching, it's like, what are we going to do? You know, this is my first film. And I'm looking around, and Jim Wynorski looks at this guy who was the guy that used to drive the honey wagons, you know, the trucks.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a young kid, maybe he was kind of the same age as the model guy, same stature. He goes, you're playing that part.
Wow.
The makeup. Dude. So the guy is sweating, right? He's nervous. He's sitting there. And of course, I'm always there to help out anyone, right? So I'm there. I'm like, hey, it's going to be okay. I'm like, all you have to do is listen to the director and follow his instructions. So then now I'm interested to see how this is going to go, because there's a whole bunch of lines that he has to say. And so Jim Wynorski gets on the side of the camera and he screams at him and says, all right, listen to this. You're going to repeat exactly every word how I say it. I'm going to say it. You're going to pause for a couple seconds, and then you're going to say it the same way with inflection and everything.
Yeah.
Just like a parrot. Yeah,
line reading.
And then he goes, action. Guess what? He blah, 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 blah. Wait 2 seconds. Blah, 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 blah. He would repeat it. Blah, blah, blah. And then in the editing room, it's seamless.
Oh, yeah.
Genius.
That's the director's performance vicariously through that guy. That's awesome, man.
and I have used that method a couple of times when the actor is a little nervous, can't do this. I'm like, it's okay. I'll help you out. And then I just say the lines, and then I edit around it. And it's great.
Wow.
So do you make a lot of your own films? I mean, do you produce, do you direct, do you write? Do you do a lot of your own stuff as well as an actor?
Yeah, like I said, that mentor of mine said, you have to be better than everyone in class. And that means you have to study more. You got to learn how to write. You got to learn how to edit. I learned how to do all that stuff. How to write, how to edit, how to produce, how to direct. Yeah. And since I'm an actor first, I know how to talk to actors as a director to get them the best acting out of them.
Sure.
Because a lot of them don't have the training. A lot of them are just like kind of new, especially the younger actors. And I love younger actors because, you know, I can really play with them and they're very open. So I had to learn to do all of that. Like I stated before, I just wanted to act. But because the platforms have allowed us to do that, and there's tons of stories out there, my thing is I have to break through the noise by doing the best that I can with my work. And I think, and I strongly believe that if you put your whole heart, your whole soul, every bit of ounce of your might in a writing session, in a acting session, is under directing session, people smell the truth and they like what you do. But if you're kind of being glib or superficial, or, you know, I just on my lines last night, people will smell that and you're not going to work that much. So it's ethics. It's a lot of it has to do with ethics, and you have to love what we do, man.
Sure.
You really have to love, like I'm one of these crazy actors that you have to be a little crazy, because, you know, how many no's have you gotten, Daryl, in your life?
Oh man.
And not with women, I'm talking about
same number.
Yeah, no, we get rejected more than we get accepted, and that's what we have to understand and be prepared for in this business.
But we're told that at the beginning as well. So that's one thing that you kind of just have to accept going into the biz.
If you're a young actor or a young professional listening to this right now, and you don't believe that it's going to take you time, and you don't believe that you should give your whole heart, then this might not be for you. Because if you think it's going to be easy, and you know, even if you're a big fish in a small pond right now, and you think you're going to make the jump, and it's going to be an easy transition. Unless you're one of the few fortunate ones, it probably won't. But you got to bust your ass. You know, you got to work hard, especially now, like you were just saying. The industry has changed. The medium's changed. You know, we have to be able to shoot our own auditions. We have to be able to light them, to sound them, you know, right? Find somebody to read opposite you. Do you have a good steady stream of friends that help you read? Or I'm asking that because I've been guilty multiple times when I don't have people to read with me, and I'll record the lines separate of my audition and then just kind of play it back to myself during the audition. But I know that does affect pacing. It does affect you being in the moment, but I was just kind of stuck.
But sometimes you kind of just have to do what you got to do just to get the audition and the self-tape done. What's your process with that, Carlos?
Well, first, I do exactly what you guys have just said. I've done it all. I have people that help me to read. I've used my computer, the voice app on the Mac computer, and I book jobs. But the difference, I believe now that and I always compare it with when we started, Diego, with like really live sessions and auditions.
Yep.
It's a lot colder, man. It's a lot colder because there's so many people that want to do what we're doing. Because a lot of people think that there's a lot of money involved in what we're doing.
No.
And
there's no.
This is a big thing. I'm going to tell you guys, there is money to be made. But it's not, you're not going to buy the mansion.
That's right.
You're going to be a working actor that sustains yourself. You might, pay for your apartment.
Yeah.
On a monthly basis, you've got to have a second job. That's the honest truth. There's these few percenters, it could be 1% or 2 that go through it that actually make it. So in the audition process, I have to incorporate me just being myself because as what I've learned from, John Levy from the casting director from ER.
Yep.
I was a guest star a long time ago, and he's, we talked about this and his new thing because everything is taped now. Mm-hmm. He says, you know what? And I remember this because I attended one of these. I still go to school and I still learn. He says, basically, your first 3 seconds, how you do your slate, is your personality test.
Mm.
So when, hey, my name is blah, 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 that's your personality. That's what, because it's no more going in there, shaking hands, because of COVID and all that.
Yeah.
You don't have that connection with the casting director anymore. He doesn't like to watch tapes. Like if you have a demo tape, he won't watch it unless the manager says you have to look at this actor for this particular role. He's a comedic guy. Well, you didn't come across in the audition, but you've got to look at this. That's when he will see it. But if it's a comedy or if it's not in the opening first 3 seconds or whenever you do your slate, it's not going to be there. And you're literally just 5 to 10 seconds and you're another number. Click. Wow. So the noise is meaning there's so many people at the same time going, me. Somehow you have to pierce right through it. And it could be doing completely the opposite of what the script says. The technique and the whole thing. Because I've actually heard there's a showrunner right now for a TV show, and he said that there's a End of Watch is the name of the TV show, and he's a showrunner, also the creator of it. And he said, guys, we looked at all these actors that audition from tapes. The process is very simple, like what you guys do. I'm doing exactly the same thing. However, the person that got it, he just didn't do what everybody else did. And we were like, that's the guy. He wasn't screaming when it said to scream. He was just like saying it normally. And so you don't know. And however, this particular actor did not have the experience on set. And then there was an issue on set, according to them, but they've managed to work with him to get him a little bit better because he had never had the experience, because TV is a whole different animal. You got to learn your lines. You got to go boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
But yeah, the audition process is the same.
And are you enjoying it now that you can self-tape because you can get, 500 takes and 500 cracks at it and you can edit it to make it look something? No, you'd rather be in person?
I have a love-hate relationship with the tapes. The thing is that it takes me longer now, where before I used to just go in there, deliver, and either we book it or not.
Yeah.
Where we do it here by ourselves, you kind of become you can be go a little crazy, maniacal because of it.
Yeah.
Because I'll do one more take. Oh, I do another take.
Yeah.
And then it's just way too many. I have been now I send 2 takes. So I send the first one the way it's written, and then I give a completely different. But it has to be completely different. You just can't do the same way.
That's right.
So,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if that will give me an opportunity for them to see my range, and I have booked a couple of TV shows by doing that. Just 2 different takes, and they don't have to see the second one, but it's there. Because remember, Diego, also you go there and then they give you directions. Well, you don't have directions anymore.
That's right.
No.
you just go, okay, that's it. So you have to do it yourself, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, and we've talked to some people, and it's like, there is a change, and as actors, we have to be ready to kind of go with that flow. We can hold on to that old school feeling and say, I don't like that. We kind of have to find a way to enjoy it and sort of take it in and use it to our advantage, I guess.
Yeah, and I know I have this. I call it the aha moment, which I mean, you have a moment where you do the audition and you just feel it, like it's in you, and you're just like, yes, that's it, that's the one. And I do that when I'm filming, when I'm directing. I call it the aha moment, because you can, after you say cut, the actors are laughing and they're like, yeah, that was it. See,
you just felt it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're moving on. But the whole technique is I take it really serious, almost like, the thing that I think we kind of tend to forget because of the noise and all the work and the problems, the issues, money issues, family issues, whatever issues we're having problems, that we forget that this is a marathon. This is not, it's a career. It's not hurry up and get quick, rich scheme, I'm going to be the next star. No, if you're going to do this, you really have to think about it like 20 years, 30 years. You can't say, I'm going to go to LA or whatever, do 2 years. Go do something else. Please don't waste your time.
That's right.
One of my pet peeves, amigos, is this. The films that I work, the stuff that I do, I would rather have given those characters to real actors that were thinking about having a career, not these, I'm beautiful, look at me. And then they leave, guys, and I'm left like, what happened to these actors that I have on these films that I've done? They're gone. Which I think it's great, but my God, I would have given that to somebody else that really wanted it. You know what I'm saying? That really wanted a career. And I think a lot of people that get out of the business, it's like, don't put your foot in it and your toe, dive in. And go get training and work with others like you guys.
I think there's just that, there's that fear. And most people that are gone in 2 or 3 years or 5 years, we've talked about this before, they have something to fall back on. And I feel like I always feel like if you have something to fall back on, most likely you will probably be doing that.
Yeah, if you've already got that in your head.
But if you're jumping and diving in feet first, you're going to just make it happen and do everything you can to keep yourself afloat. One project, you meet people and moves, introduces you to the next project, and work sort of begets work,
Yeah, and it is a small community because we've been here long enough. You get to see the same people in the same auditions.
That's right.
And you get to see them on TV, and you're like, okay, that's a real artist. It's not, one thing and then whatever happened to that person. I continue to surface because they ain't gonna shut me up. And in this thing, and no disrespect to Hollywood, because Hollywood is a monster. It is the mecca of the film industry, and it's just huge. You know what? Hollywood doesn't want me on the table, their table. Well, guess what? I'm gonna make my own table, and I'm gonna bring my friends and people I trust and they're put together, and I'm going to create my own table with chairs. And they're going to come, and we're going to have a great time, and we're going to sell and tell stories that resonate with so many, not just your typical, I love horror films, and I love Captain America and all that, but I'm so tired of that. I want real stories that I could relate with, and I can really laugh. Not, I love them, but I don't watch that type of films anymore. It's just, they're all the same.
You're right.
Same guys with different type colors.
You're right. Gone are the days where we were kids and we're rushing to ride our bikes home because this episode of this show that we loved only aired on this night and this time. And there was no reruns. You didn't get to see it again. So you made an effort to watch it show because that specific show moved you. And you get that now, but you get it more of like all the episodes are right there. You can binge it and then you're done in a weekend. And you're like, well, shit, now what do I do?
No, exactly. Yeah. And I think we missed that as in Hollywood. So I'm doing these projects, by the way, they're called Agua Libre. It's a Western. I love Westerns, by the way.
Ooh.
It's a Western, period, Western piece. It is, I shot a scene from that like 8 or 9 years ago. And it was screened here because I am finally putting it together. People are listening to it. Finally, they're listening. It's about how I'm from Texas, Diego.
That's
right.
Yep. Yeah, Houston, baby. So is Brad. We grew up in Houston.
Here we go.
So I grew up, I'm a little dark-skinned Latino, and in my grandfather's side, we have some black, we're mestizos.
Nice.
We're mixed, and there's this story I started researching about 15 years ago, and I found out several stories about escape. We call them the escapees, slaves, that went down to Mexico, and Mexicans helped them. So there was an underground railroad to the south.
Wow.
So I started researching that, and there was very few books, but I did find a lot of reward wanted for escapee going to Mexico. Reward wanted for escapee going to Mexico, like from San Antonio, Galveston, Houston, Austin, Lubbock, before the Civil War. And I said, there's a story there. So then I found a few stories in Mexico. I said, you know what? I'm going to make a love story about, this guy and this woman and her autistic son that they're being sold separately.
Shit.
And this guy named Alejos, based on my great-great-great-grandfather, helps them cross over to Mexico, because back then you would get lynched, we did that.
Wow.
So nobody knows, but I don't want to make it about a slave story, but it is a love story. It just happens to be on this time.
Wow.
And all of a sudden, as I saw it in the big screen, people are like, how come we need to see that? Like, when do you want to do that? And I'm like, well, let's get together. This is not $100,000 short film. This is a $20-30 million budget film.
Yeah.
So, and I love Westerns. And then
you want to do it right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because it's the first time that America will see history. And now, guess what, brother? Now, the University of Texas, UCLA, a university in Michigan, a professor from University of Texas reached out to me and like, hey, I'm a PhD on this subject matter, Carlos. I think it's great. Can we show it on my class? Absolutely. Wow. And then the person over here at UCLA, the same thing. So now they're teaching this. Now it's in the internet. I'm like, man, I knew that like 15 years ago when I started this thing so long ago. But whoever does this, which I hope it's us, wink, wink, guys.
That's right. Hey, we're all hands on deck, my friend.
That will be our marker. That is an intelligent film. It's a kind of like fictional, but it's also real. With historical events, there's other stories within that story, from Houston, a lot. I'm just excited, as you can hear.
That's awesome.
I think that would be that particular film, besides another one, which, would love to have you guys on board too as well, but that's for another day.
Dude, that sounds like a really awesome TV show like that. I could see that as a series, even if it was like an 8 or 10 part miniseries. But I think that would generate many more storylines in it. You might have something there.
When do you decide whether it's a film or a miniseries?
To me, another acting teacher said, you need to explore. I'm like, oh my God, I just wanted to act.
Yeah.
Research. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yep.
But if I have like another writer or a couple of other writers who's like, bro, let's go in it together. I'm like, absolutely. It's just so much for someone like me, and I feel like alone sometimes, like I'm doing all this. So, I don't have like a research team, and I don't have the funds to facilitate and keep it going. So I have to do it on my own. So what you see on the screen is basically tacos and burritos. That's what I feed my actors in return for their courses and their whatever they're giving me. But they see it; it's clear.
That's right.
That's just one of the Pepito show that I have on YouTube channel right now.
Yeah, let's get into that.
So many. What's that?
I said let's get into that because Diego and I were talking about that before we brought you on. But yeah, let's get into that
really quickly. So Pepito. It's over 100. I always bring history and freshen it up because all stories have been told before. So when we first got here, Diego, you know how it is in the Latino world. They're like, hey, Mexicans are like great, you know, they have the best tacos, whatever. And then you go to Puerto Rico, we have like the best rice and beans. Puerto Ricans are better than Mexicans. And then you have Salvadorans with their pupusas, and they're better than whatever. And then you have the Argentinians who think they're better than all Latinos, period, and right. Cubans. So I in the acting world, they don't know what to do with us as Latinos. They don't know what to do because, you know, we need a Latino, but okay, is it a Mexican? Is it a Cuban? And we're like, just give me work. I'll do whatever. I know how to do a Cuban accent. I can do work, you know?
And the viewer's not going to know anyways the difference. So
yeah, you know, so I say to myself, I would like to unite all of us under one character. And I thought, like, boom. Everybody knows the Pepito joke. If you grew up over 100 years, these jokes have been around. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, I could sell it to Latin America in a heartbeat. It should be a very easy sell. Guess what? Go to Mexico, South America, whatever, even Brazil, they know Pepito. So I'm like, let's make this little fiction, little character, little boy who's nasty, naughty. And we grew up with this. He was Bart Simpson before Bart Simpson was Bart Simpson.
Yeah.
But he's worse than Bart Simpson because he's very nasty and naughty. Yep. And I said, let's make him into a man. And all these jokes around him, he's one messed up individual inside and out. You know, trouble, you know, no love life because, you know, sexuality and all these crazy things. And what would happen to if he was a man here in LA, struggling like we all are in the jungles of BS? And you see yourself in him with his thoughts and his dreams and his aspirations, like what we have. And so I made a family. And so the family is a production company. Interesting how I wrote this almost 12, 13 years ago, another one, and it's all coming together.
Yeah.
And now it's a comedy. So you bring real situations in a production like what we do. And guess what? It works out.
Eat it up. Yeah.
I built a family within a production, and you have the jealousy, you have the this, you have that, including his family, which is the grandma, which is played by Maria Conchita Alonso, and then some other characters. They're kind of put in the whole thing. But it's basically a guy trying to make it, as we all are, with ups and downs. And we filmed already 3 episodes during COVID, so it was a little difficult. And then I just shot, so I'm about to release the 5th one on YouTube.
Wow.
Which is an homage to Cepillín, which is the most famous Mexican Latino clown in the world. It would be like your Bozo here.
Love him.
So that will be released in about 2 weeks. And then I shot 3 episodes already. I'm editing, believe it or not, editing right now.
While we're talking, he's like, just ready to go on your phone. 2
more episodes to film, guys, in January.
Nice.
So I'm like extremely busy.
Under the gun, yeah.
And I don't help.
If there's anybody listening, Carlos needs an editor.
Yeah. I can edit, but I need help with an editor.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun, and I'm having joy with this particular one because I can be fun and I can be silly, and it goes out. But in Pepito's world, you get to see, you know, danger, some hurt feelings, some craziness, women, a little bit of drugs, you know, like what life is about.
That's that's something for everybody.
And he gets into trouble. He gets out of trouble with his wits and charm. And so I would like to sell it. So right now, guys, all I ask is go to the YouTube channel, subscribe to the thing. So if we can get more, you know, views in it, and then I could sell it. If I could sell it, we'll be in a whole different page.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun.
We'll put all the links in the description box when attached to it. So we'll try to get a lot of people to go up there because it's so important to click like and subscribe.
Yes, that's it. And it's easy. It's free.
I know.
It's easy thing to do, and oh man, as artists and industry professionals, guys, it really does help us out. It's a simple thing to do, and then also you stay current.
It does. And the last thing I will touch on before, because I know I express myself through my work. There is a film that I was also screened there called No Way Jose. But it's a dark comedy, And I would love to do that first before anything, only because it doesn't revolve around a lot of money. I only need like $400,000. Hey, anybody out there with $400,000?
Only that's it.
That
should be
that's a small
Sign
budget.
me up. It's a dark comedy buddy film. I love buddy films too. It takes place in Mexico, and it's about a racist border patrol agent who ends up in Mexico with cartels. And there's this guy named Jose who also has been captured by the cartels, and they need each other to survive, to escape them, coming back to the United States. And through humor and charm and everything else, life, squatting, peeing, and all that, living in danger, the two people end up they need each other to survive. So through that, you break away stereotypes of all sorts, and you really enjoy the whole process of just being a human. It's a dark comedy. So there's a lot of comedy in the thing. It's not about racism. It's more about it's a love story between two individuals that need each other to make it, to live.
I dig that, man. Diego can play the coyote, bringing him over.
Oh yeah, no, Diego. There's some parts you también. You do. There's some stuff in there, bro.
Hey.
So that we showed it at the festival too as well, and you know, it just showed like a proof of concept. But that out of the two, that is ready to go like now. Like we could film next month, or it could be in 2 or 3 weeks, because it's been workshopped so many times. So as a filmmaker, as an artist, as an actor, I have to rededicate myself every morning. You have to, because of the no's. And by me continuing to work, it just keeps your machine kind of lubricated and wanting to go. I haven't made my first million yet, sorry, but I feel it's coming. And I don't care about that. My teacher always said, just do your work. Do it to the best of your ability, and people will smell it, they will see it, and they will come.
I like what you said. I think it was a beautiful thing too. I rededicate myself every morning. I mean, I think when you think about that, just that simplicity of that, it's almost like you got to restart every morning. You recommit yourself to your career. And it's just like the reassurance you give. I love that, man.
Yeah, trust that you're in the right place, doing what you're supposed to be doing. On the creative.
Absolutely. And really the important thing is that you can't do it alone. You really need, like you said, subscribe. You need, like you guys, what you're doing right now, which is a gift to me, and I get it. It really needs a community to create anything, because you just can't do it by yourself. You can write it, but who's going to shoot it? Who's going to act in it? You know, so it is a full-on a communal thing where nobody is better than anybody. We're all equal. We're all like, even on my sets, this is what I tell the actors: hey, this is not my project. This is your project. Because if you make it your own, you're going to give it your own. Your name's going to be on the credits, bro. So do you want this to be shit? Or do you want it to be good? So make it your own. Don't, you need that. Make it yours. And it empowers the actors or the DP or sound guy not to be sloppy, but really care about the project.
Yeah,
I love that.
Speaking of caring about projects, what is one of your most favorite things you had deep passion and care and love for, whether it was something you produced or whether it was something, mainstream, big that we've all seen that you have been a part of? What do you think in your career so far?
As an actor, probably, not doing my own projects, it would have to be Coco. Only because I felt connected with it. I did 4 voices on it. I worked on the looping group, and I was very fortunate that the director was there, and you audition for these little tiny parts. The movie will always be around, so I'm just really happy that I had an impact on that. I'm part of something very. It just felt great around the world. So that's important, even though it's a cartoon.
No, it was amazing. That was such a fun one. I'm so glad that you actually said that.
Coco. And then for my personal, I've yet to see it. I'm happy about my past, but I think it would be the next few projects that are coming up. I haven't haven't experienced it fully yet. I feel it in stage whenever I'm acting on stage in classes. When I go back and forth to classes. When I'm bored, I go back and study and then come back out.
Yeah, love that.
That's my best work, but nobody sees it except for those students that are there because I leave it there. I stamp it. This is Carlo Moreno Jr. Bitches. And I leave it there, and then I get a standing ovation. They're like, yeah, dude, what the hell, man? It's like, I don't do shit anymore. I just leave it on the floor.
Wow.
So a lot of it has to do on stage, but in production, in my work, I've yet to be like, that's it. You know, I've done tons of work. They're all great.
Yeah.
But I haven't yet, you know, experienced that one factor.
I love that. Anytime anybody's, you know, has asked me the same thing, which I haven't done a whole bunch of things, but like, even like, what's your favorite burger you've eaten? You know, I've said, well, I don't have a favorite because there'll never be a number one. Everything's always it's a second favorite because I'll never be able to say this one wasn't definitely the best, right? We still experience, we still grow.
You can't. It's just like your children. You love them all the same.
There you go. Well, some a little more than others.
No, you have your favorite, maybe, but love is still the same. But yeah, it's. I think it will be either Agua Libre or No Way Jose because I've done the scenes. I've studied the scenes. I know what I'm going to do, how to do it.
Yeah.
I see it. I visualize it. But it'd probably be either one of those two where I will be. That's my best work. That I feel that this is it. Hopefully.
Hell yeah, man. I would love to see you in one of those, but like as a series, regular running it, you know, just having it be on every single day, dude. What a treat.
Yeah, and you know what, guys? I went last night to see The Bear. Have you seen The Bear?
Yeah. Oh, I've seen a few episodes of that. That's the about keeping the restaurant alive, pretty much, right? As a chef.
Yeah. So I went to a screening last night over at the Emmys, the Wolf, I think it's called, theater. And it was packed, dude. There's a lot of people there. I don't know what the show was about. I just like the word The Bear. So I went to go check it out.
Yeah.
Dude, they showed number 7, which is what Hollywood is talking about. Okay? It's episode 7. And you got to watch it because it's one take, the whole show.
No.
Wow.
See, now you want to see it.
Yeah.
I didn't know this. I was like, no, I'm gonna go see. Maybe it's the last episode. No, they showed the tape that everyone is talking about, the whole world. They're even people are saying this is what they need to teach in class, DP directing class. Watch it. It is one take from as soon as he opens the door all through the whole freaking thing.
Wow.
25 minutes later, it's over.
Wow.
And you feel like you were in there with them.
Yeah.
And every moment is real. And so my question was to the director, because, you know, they talked about, I said, the elephant in the room is this. So I asked the director, how many takes did you do to do this one take? And he said, we did 4 takes. The first one was amazing, but we kept the last one. It was just powerful. And then I asked him, will you do it again? He said, no.
Yeah.
And I know why. Because it took so much concentration, so much work, so much detailed work. Not just, okay, you're just going to do this. No. You really have to learn how to cook. You got to be ready. And it's all like a play. But, guys, it's the most realistic thing I've ever seen on TV.
Wow.
And I want more. That's why I said, are you going to do more? He said, no. But he said, maybe I'll do it if there's a fight. That fed me to go back and look at my Pepito show and demand more of my actors.
Wow.
And more because actors are a little lazy sometimes. They just think it's lines.
You're right.
No. What's going on between the lines?
Yeah.
So watch it, guys.
I wrote it down. Definitely going to see that episode.
Yeah, man. Oh God, yeah. One of the basic rules is what I learned in theater many years ago is you're always, because you enter the stage and then you just start speaking. And I remember my teacher would say, "Stop! Wait, where did you just come from?" I said, "I came from stage left." They're like, "No, where did you come from?" I said, "Stage left." They're like, "No, you had a life before you walked out here. Live that life."
Yeah. Here's another one. How about this one, guys? You probably heard or witnessed this. My character wouldn't do that.
Oh yeah.
I can't. How many times I've heard that from other actors on stage when I'm in class.
Yeah.
So one time my teacher said, not to me, because I was always open. He says, how do you know this? Oh, I know that because I read the script. It's like, you've only been living in that character for what? An hour that you just read it?
Yeah.
That character has been living for 30 years.
There you go. Yeah.
So you don't know the character.
Yeah.
Try everything out. Be angry, be sad, be happy, laugh, don't say anything. Just do it with a stare. Try everything, and then it would all be correct if you really believe in it 110%. But if you just go half-ass here, or you don't really, no. Do it, experiment to the full extent, every line with different ways, and find the one that really resonates with you. So the theory of that is out the window, and then the other theory of I don't like to rehearse because it's not fresh. It's even worse for me. That one I just don't get. With actors say that, I just don't get it.
Yeah,
I don't get it. It's just like you're playing music. You know, you have to rehearse so you can get the freaking note right or whatever the hell.
Yeah.
So how are you not going to rehearse and be fresh? You're not going to be ready, bro.
You're right.
You can find so many other colors. If you rehearse and rehearse and rehearse, you never get tired. I always find something new on the freaking moment.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's picking up a freaking penny on the floor and flipping it and catching it and putting it in my pocket.
You're right.
I love it.
And the music analogy was spot on, because nobody turns on the radio and just like listens to a song for the first time. It's like they want to listen to that song 100 times over so they know the lyrics. So any actor that tells you, oh, I just wanted to be in the moment, in the instant for the first time, it's like, no, because you listen to music over and over, so you know the song, you know the music that you love, and you turn that on, you sing to it. You're reacting, and the acting should be the exact same way.
Exactly. Yep.
Because you probably don't get better till the 5th or 6th take, like the one director who you just said. It took them 4 takes, and the 4th one was the best because they got better as it went, you know. And why wouldn't you want to put your best work out there?
That's right.
Oh.
Exactly. No, but you know, and we have a lot of new, you know, young people that, like I said, I love to work with them. But what's happening now with the young folks is, you know, this technology that we're talking with on the cell phone. They like break up with texts.
No.
And so they don't know how to get angry with each other because it feels weird. They don't know how to react because they do it through text and they get angry.
And then that crazy, isn't that crazy? Oh my God.
So we have to teach actors how to
connect.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, that is a crazy thing. I didn't really think about that, man. I'm bad me. I haven't been to acting class really since I've been out here doing that kind of stuff. And it would be good to get in and see what's changed and what other people are doing, because so many people, they have that broken neck syndrome where they're just always looking down. Everybody's so stuck in their damn phones, you know. We got to have genuine, real connections. That's what life is all about.
Yeah, that is what. And you know, my teacher used to say, I hate this damn freaking thing. I mean, they're great. But put it down. Be present. Look, observe what's going on. You're missing out. Like, you know, text a little bit and put it away. You don't have to see it every freaking 10 minutes.
That's right.
And artists are losing. I mean, Instagram, whatever. You know, so many. Social media is a whole different thing, especially for actors, because we have to do it. It is a must. Otherwise, you cannot be seen. Because guess what, guys?
We're selling ourselves.
Directors watch what you post.
Yeah.
What you post.
Yep.
And you will be affected if you're between one other person. They look at all that stuff. You might have to be very nice on social media if you want to have a career, because it comes back. Yeah,
and that's another thing too, is like, you know, I made a joke on one podcast about like social media being so difficult as a part of the business, whether we're doing it for our podcast or we're having to doing it individually. And I'm like, has anybody got a 13-year-old niece we can borrow? Because the kids they know that. And I have a 13-year-old niece, and I'm like, that was part of my joke, is like, shit, she would be able to run this thing much better than these old fogies here, you know? They're so in tune with it, and just staying disciplined and being current, you know, and it's difficult. It's another part of the job. You know, we have so many layers. You're right. We are onions as actors now, and it's incredible what we have to do.
You have to be disciplined, and you have to do it. And so I keep on reiterating this, because you'll be eaten alive unless you're that beautiful 1% that gets lucky. I applaud you. Congratulations. Please remember that. And there's so many others that wish to be on your your plate. So, you know, you better stay there and do what you get to do. Otherwise, that plate will be taken away and given to somebody else just like that.
You're right. How many auditions have you turned down, do you think, in your career? You know, when your agent asks you to audition, do you do them or do you say, nah, I don't want that one?
Maybe one.
There you go.
Yeah, always saying yes, right?
I was like, I didn't want to go to another commercial. I'm like, I'm over it. I don't need to do this.
There you go.
One out of thousands.
There you go. You can't say no. That's right. You got to do it. You got to do it. That's what we're here for, right?
Yep.
Absolutely.
And you never know that one that's going to pop.
You're lucky to have auditions.
Yeah, and take them because you don't know when they're going to stop. The one of the things is that the younger people, I always go, I don't know why I keep on going to youngest because maybe I'm getting older. But they think that they're going to last forever.
Yeah.
They don't know that 10 years go by super fast. I mean, I have gray hair, dude. I don't know about you guys. Some gray hair.
Yeah. I'm hiding mine.
Hey, look, I got a face for radio, okay?
All of a sudden, I'm like, hey, what happened? There's a party here in my beard. Nobody told me.
Oh, yeah, I've got those. The white nose hairs.
They don't get that you have to. Giovanni Ricci?
Yep.
Okay, Bonnie, he was in acting class, and he did an amazing scene one day. So I went up to him and I said, hey, man, dude, I just started the class. I go, how do I do what you do? I put him to the side. He looked at me. He goes, you got to study with the master for about 10 years. Holy shit. That was my first year, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
I studied with him for 9 years, and then he died. But they go by super fast. So you're young, get to school, study hard, learn everything. Party, once in a while, you have to do that. It's part of life.
Got to let loose.
But get back on the wagon and there's a target. Have fun with it. Don't drive yourself crazy, but have that target. You can't look left or right because you'll end up in Albuquerque.
Yeah, there you go. Which, hey, they are shooting some things out there, just not as much as Los Angeles.
That's true nowadays. Bugs Bunny always say, I should have made a left or in Albuquerque.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I love Bugs Bunny.
So does this help you guys?
Man, this is fantastic. And we know you do have a lot of things going on. I mean, it's going to help all of our listeners who are tuning in for sure. But
that's the one thing we're learning the most is that Brad and I get to really benefit the most here. We're getting a perspective from so many different people in the business, and it's great to hear the stories and the successes. And really, I think the through line here is just, always say yes, stay creative. And don't just wait around for anything. Make things happen for yourself.
Yeah, you got to let the industry know you're here. Otherwise, you're just another person just living.
And guess what, guys? There's enough work for everybody now.
Sure.
Let's get it.
Being jealous is great, because it brings the
your drive and competition, right?
Yeah, it makes you better. I gotta get that one. Competition is all good. But there's enough for everybody. So the support is what needed the most for sure. The noise that's out there for so many of us.
Clear the noise.
Clear the noise. I like that a lot. And thank you,
Carlo
for
Moreno Jr. Look him up on IMDb, guys. He's done a lot. Check out his work.
Thank you. Dial the station until Hollywood will dial the station until they hear you, and that's when you got to be ready. That noise. Remember the old radio station had to use the dial knob.
Yeah, just to find that right perfect.
And you're trying to reach that station. I don't know, KGBT, whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
So that's you, and then Hollywood is listening. There it is.
Yeah.
I hear that loud and clear. You gotta be ready.
I love that.
Love that too.
Carlos, thank you so much for spending a little time with us and talking with us.
We appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you for the gift, guys. Congratulations. I need to find out. Definitely will be listening because I'm curious now what other people have been saying. So it's a good thing you're doing this.
Yeah, man. Can't wait. It is a good thing. We appreciate you being here. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Keep in touch, my friend. Thank you so much.
I will.
See you, brother.
All right. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
You're listening to The Actor Factor.
Cool. I mean, I know most people listening have probably seen Coco. I mean, you got to check him out on IMDb and check out the things he's done. He's such a nice, genuine entity.
You'll see a list of, he was saying, when we talk to somebody in this business and they say, oh, yeah, I got a film. It's in this this festival, or I'm going to do something this. He's got 16 films roaming around in 16 different like festivals, and a lot of them he wrote himself, produced himself, directed himself. He's just making things happen. And,
getting attached with friends in their projects. Get on stuff, man. Don't sit around and not do anything. Rack up the IMDb credits if you can, but just go to work and meet people, network, build your web of networking. Meet your people that you know, your industry people.
Yeah. Be inspired.
There you go. Be inspired. That's a lesson for today. And the noise. Block out the noise.
Hear the noise.
That was
brilliant.
If
you keep at it, you'll pierce through that. And that's when people will see you and notice you and want to pay a little attention to you.
I love all that, man.
Wow. What a great interview.
That was fantastic, man. Oh, God. Thank you all for tuning in. We really appreciate you all listening. And until next time, I'm Brad Ashton.
Diego Garcia. See ya.
This has been the Actor Factor Podcast with Brad Ashton and Diego Garcia.